talk to me a little bit about what consumer empowerment is and how would you define how it affects corporations in 2011?
Let's start out with the fact that consumers have really changed their mentality. They've moved from immediate gratification to immediate justification. So they're looking for companies that somehow combine performance with purpose, that find shared value, that are trying to meet societal goals as well as make profit. So, in fact, we even find this more profoundly in the developing world than in the developed. So, basically, I think companies are smart to think about business as operating in 4 quadrants of the media. So, there's mainstream media, there's new media, there's social media, and then there's your own channel. So, the really smart companies are starting sometimes with a concept, the Pepsi Refresh campaign. And they actually begin it in social media. And they announce the contest and do it on their Facebook page. And they make it inherently a social action. And then they ask for entries and ask for people to submit them in a transparent way and then ask consumers to vote so that you've got this kind of full circle. And that really constitutes the kind of open to the public, open for business, new success method for business.
From a strategic point of view, should all companies embrace a social media strategy?
You know, you think about a company like Goldman Sachs where you think it's the ultimate sort of B2B play. Well, in fact, when their chief economist went to Asia, they posted his remarks and video content on their own channel. Then they put it up on the Goldman Facebook page. They actually had bloggers linking to it, and then they arranged mainstream media interviews. So they hit all 4 quadrants for the media cloverleaf.
I want to double click on the Goldman Sachs example.
Sure.
Specifically, Goldman is known, its brand is known as very illustrious. It's known for its high quality talent as well as its high quality clients. At what point will the social media aspect be detrimental to the overall overarching brand?
I think the release of the report last week on how they make their money is indicative of a new level of openness that one is expecting from corporations. And so that they have some controversy on their Facebook page about whether they should or whether they shouldn't have a certain level of bonuses or whatever, to me adds real credential and credibility to what they're doing. Remember that it takes 5 times before somebody sees or hears something before they believe it. And in the skeptical markets in the United States and the UK, it's 10 times. So that reinforcement, that mirroring effect that you get from social media really enhances whatever position you have in mainstream or in blogs.
Do you have an example of a company whose social media strategy as it stands now is not effective?
I think that the sort of overly controlled approach of certain companies, particularly in the mining business, if there's a real dialectic between credibility and control. And if it looks as if every statement is written by your lawyers, there's sort of nothing spontaneous or kind of fun about it. It's clearly written for public consumption, but this isn't Pravda. This is actually something that is spontaneous and supposed to be genuine.
So when we take a look at the Fortune 500 companies, the top companies in the United States, companies who don't have a social media strategy, are they behind?
If you're not using, so let me just give you a statistic. I heard that for Huffington Post, which I think is a terrific media, they get 1/3 people coming direct, 1/3 of the people come through search, and 1/3 come through Facebook and Twitter, through social. So if you're not playing in the social sandbox, you're really missing the game. Because if the average person, particularly your age, is spending by far the most time, 6 hours a month and probably a hell of a lot more, compared to search, 3x search, you're completely missing the opportunity. Go where the conversation is. That's the major point. If people are talking on Facebook, you've got to add information to the conversation. Be a smart company.
Regardless if your brand is such that it attracts high quality talent, you should always really figure out a strategic way to be online.
But it's not just about talent. It's actually about selling your products. It's about, in fact, selling the idea that you're a good and serious corporate citizen, that you have, environmental policies. More people wake up in the morning and go to Politico. They're going to blogs, and blogs in some way are often reflecting what's on social media.
Thank you so much for your time.
Sure.